What is going on, my super sandwiches? Romstar here, and today I want to put together a video of what I think are the best evasive moves available in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 before DLC 1. The reason why I say before DLC 1 is because I have no idea what's going to be planned in DLC Pack 1 through 4, so if you're watching this video after the DLC comes out, for all I know, they might have better stuff, but for now, this is just based off the game when it comes out at the beginning, and based on what I've seen is most effective in the game. Now, of course, this is an opinion, so in the comment section below, if you want to share what you think are the best evasive moves and why, feel free to do so by dropping a comment right now. And before I start, I do also want to mention that all the evasive moves that I'm talking about in this game are going to be out of order. There's like no specific order of what's the best. So without further ado, let's talk about the best evasive moves available in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Yeah. The first move that I want to cover is going to be Hyper Movement, which is Cooler's evasive move in the game. And what this does is, if you let me just lock on first, what this does is it does instant transmission and gets behind your opponent and then knocks them back. So it's a good way to get out of an attack and also punish someone while they're attacking you. But the cool thing is, it's amazing to counter attacks with it. So for example, watch this. I'm gonna set my opponent to do his first attack. Let's just do the energy blast, that one, not the volley, but the energy wave. And when he fires it, I'm gonna dodge it. Just kidding. I'm gonna do that instead. Notice how I broke his stamina. The reason why I broke his stamina is because he was doing an attack, and this is like a heavy hit. So if you do this the right way, you can punish people who use certain moves. For example, once again, go ahead and do your cooler final supernova again. Just kidding. You ain't gonna do that. Bam! Broke your stamina, and I'm gonna punish you. So that's the cool thing about this move is not only does it get out of the way, but you can punish people based on what they do. And in fact, this is probably the best way to punish people who use Justice Combination. And you guys know how much I hate / love. Hate's really the right word. How much I hate that move. So actually, let me show you how. Oh, watch out. If you do it the wrong way, you can also get hit. So you want to time it right. In fact, before I go over to Justice Combination, let's do the energy wave. So go ahead and blast me with that. I want to show you how you can get out of the move while it's actually hitting you too. Because you, bam, boom, hit him. And of course, if I do it right before he fires it, if I do it exactly the moment he fires it, I can actually break his stamina before he even attacks you. So go ahead and do that. Just kidding. I'm over here. Bam. Oh, I missed. Sometimes it can miss. Sometimes it can miss. Just be careful with that. But overall, it's one of the best moves to get out of ultimates. And on top of that, it actually gets you out of the way. Because one thing that Xenoverse 2 does different than Xenoverse 1 is evasive moves should be good. Like, the evasive you want to use are the ones that get you out of harm's way. And there's some moves, which I'll show you in this video, that they're good for countering, but they're awful at getting you out of the way, and you can still get hurt. So before I switch over to the next attack, let me show you how good Hyper Movement is against moves like Justice Combination. But first, sit down, Cooler. What are you doing? Get out of here. As I said, Justice Combination is one of the most painful attacks that I come across online, and I'm going to show you how to perfectly punish people who do that with the Hyper Movement. So go ahead and kick me, Videl. Kick me. Just kidding. I'm over here, and I'm about to break his stamina, and I'm going to punish you for doing that cheesy move. So to those who are tired of Justice Combination, trust me, Hyper Movement is going to be your best friend. Just make sure you time it right. Otherwise, you know, it's kind of hard to link together sometimes. But ultimately, it's by far one of the best moves, hands down. Go ahead and kick me one more time. Go ahead. I dare you. Just kidding. Over here. Where's your stamina at? Take a death beam to the back of the head, and this is game over. So yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the next evasive move that I think is great in Xenoverse 2. Again, Hyper Movement. You unlock this by going to the TP Metal Shop. I forgot how much it costs, but it's very, very cheap. So just grab it on the weekend and test it out and see whether or not you find it useful. But let's get into the next one. For my next move, we're going to go ahead and dig into the Zarbon attack, Bloody Counter, which basically what it does is when you hold it down, it does a flurry of attacks. And on top of that, if you hold the button down, you can keep it going based on how much ki you have. So you can actually punish your opponent pretty painfully if you do it the right way. So Vegeta, go ahead and stay right there. Go ahead and take some damage. Look how much that does. That does a lot of damage. And this is an evasive move. Think about that. An evasive move that does this much. And obviously, if you have more ki, you can do even more. So just experiment with it. Now, the one flaw with this attack is, and this is the one where you have to be really careful with, is it does not get you out of the way of an attack, as I said at the beginning of this video. The thing about this game is evasive moves that you want to go for are the ones that actually get you out of harm's way. So in this situation, we're going to go ahead and set Vegeta here to do a, let's do Ultimate Attack 1. I think that's going to be the Energy Wave Volley. And watch what happens. Like, when he blasts me with it, I hope it's not Final Explosion. Oh, that's Final Explosion. That's not what I meant to do. Watch, when he blasts me with this attack, it's going to actually hurt me and I will not evade it. So this is kind of like the flaw with it. You don't evade. On top of that, you can't even use it to, like, look, I'm still getting hurt. Like, you don't even get any super armor. In Xenoverse 1, you would get super armor with, like, certain evasive moves where you can still kind of protect yourself. But in this situation, the move that you want to go for in this game are ones that are more like, you know, the ones that get you out of harm's way. And if you do this attack the right way, it could punish an opponent, but at the same time, it could harm you more than actually help you if you don't really know how to use it just that well. And on top of that, before we end this, let's go ahead and have him do Final Explosion so I can show you that even in an attack like this, there's nothing I can do about it. Uh-oh, here he is, he's firing it. Well, I can stop it, obviously. So in that situation, it works out. But once the explosion starts, I can't get out of it. I'm going to be stuck in it. So let's go ahead and see if I can pull that off before I get into the next attack. Oh no! I can try to stop it, but you know, it still hurts me. So again, bloody counter is great for punishing an opponent, but it can also punish you at the same time. So I guess with that, I want to just kind of practice with it. And although I wouldn't highly recommend it, I do recommend this move as a good counter attack if you know how to use it the right way. So as long as you know how to snap manage just and keep your distance from your opponent, you should be fine. But if you do it the wrong way, you'll take a lot of hits and you will not be able to evade out of it. So basically, it's like you get a new super move, but you don't get an evasive, if that makes sense. All right, let's get into the next attack. The next attack on my list that I want to talk about is the Special Beam Blast, which basically features a backflip and a Special Beam Cannon that does 2900 damage base. Now, the one thing I want to point out with this attack is it's not completely the best choice to go with for an attack that evades. What I mean by that is we'll have have Goku do the Super Kamehameha, and when he fires it, I'm going to try to evade it, but it's not going to completely stop the attack. See? It still hit me just barely. So with the Special Beam Blast, you kind of have to figure out when is the right time to do it and when to not do it. In a situation like this, you don't want to counter a beam attack like that. As you can see, bam, it still hit me. You also don't want to do maybe more the key-based characters, to be honest, or the key-based attacks, to be honest. But if you do it the right way, you can use Special Beam Blast to do extra damage, and if not, be the reason why you win a fight. Like, say the fight is really, really close, and someone's doing an ultimate or super attack that's not like a super massive key attack, I can be like, bam, well, not right there, I would have lost right there, but you get the picture. It's just one of those moves that you want to, like, master and know when is the right time to do it, and not blindly fire it out like in Xenoverse 1. I mean, in Xenoverse 1, every single counter attack, or not counter, but every single evasive move was great for stopping attacks because you get a little bit of super armor. But in this game, they kind of have a split based on attacks that actually evade or attacks that are more counter heavy, like the bloody counter and especially Beam Blast, and then other attacks that kind of like get your opponent out of the way. So kind of figure out what's the right way to do, when's the right time to do these attacks, and you'll be able to use it to your advantage. Otherwise, you'll get punished like I did right there. But let's get into the next one. The next evasive move on my list is the Armor Boost from Xenoverse 1, and basically what this does is it gets you out of harm's way with invincibility frames. And also if you use the arrows on your D-pad, or not your D-pad, but on your stick, if you basically decide where to go, you can actually choose the direction you want to fly around it. And while you're flying in this little golden bubble, you are invincible. So we're going to go ahead and use Turles, since he has one of the most nastiest ultimates in the game. We're going to show you how to escape that attack. Well, at this point, you guys should already know how to escape it, but using Armor Burst, I'm going to show you how you can escape it and how awesome this move is. Go ahead and fire it. Do your thing. Just kidding. I'm going to fly out of my way and go all the way over here. So basically with the Armor Boost, this is going back to what I was saying earlier, how there is different classes of evasive moves in Xenoverse 2. Ones that counter, ones that actually get you out of the way, and the other ones that kind of like to kind of stall your opponent, like the Angry Shout or Explosive Wave, kind of like the interrupting ones. But Armor Boost is probably one of the best ones you want to use for actual evasive skills, because it gets you all the way around. Another good one I would suggest is the Mach Dash, because that Mach Dash also does add a speed boost to you temporarily. But honestly, between Armor Boost and Mach Dash, I'm going to go with this one just because this one adds invincibility frames. And just to show you one more ultimate, I'm going to have Turles do his Energy Wave, and I'm going to show you that I can actually fly through the attack and counter if I do it the right way. So go ahead, Turles, do your thing. Stop doing the meteor burst. Stop doing the meteor burst. Yeah, there you go. Fire it. Yeah. Fly! I timed it terribly, but you get the picture. You can kind of just go through attacks because you're invincible. Like this, if you do the Armor Burst the right way, you can be pretty disgusting online. And on top of that, it's just great because like look how fast it is. Like it's one of those moves that also people don't really use as much because everybody's using kind of like the same evasive moves online. So when you bust out the Armor Burst, a lot of people might not even expect you to do that. Look how fast I got out of that attack, and I was able to counter. Like that's what you want to do in this game. You want to use attacks and evasive moves that actually like evade, because otherwise you get stuck and you're going to take some punishment and damage when someone busts out an ultimate attack. But yeah, Armor Boost is definitely A1. Check it out. The next move that I want to cover in this video, of course, is the Angry Shout itself, and just like in the last game, this is an amazing evasive move. Now I will note that there is one small difference as opposed to last game. Now when you do Angry Shout, notice how far back it pushes my opponent. This makes it impossible now to link certain supers and ultimates into the attack right after doing it, which is kind of cheesy in the last game, so I'm kind of glad that they did that in this game. But you still do get the key bar back after doing it. So in this situation, let me actually set my key to normal, fire out one of these, and as you can see, the second I do my Angry Shout, bam, I get a key bar back. So we're going to go ahead and do now is show off the usefulness of this move against ultimate attacks. So in this situation, we'll have Trunks fire his Energy Wave. And as you can see, the thing about this attack is you have to time it exactly right. If you time it too soon, then you'll take damage at the end like that. If you time it too early, you'll still take damage in the beginning of the attack. But nevertheless, it's still great for getting out of harm's way. But of course, if you time it exactly right, you can like be, completely out of harm's way. Well, not right there, but you get the picture. It's one of those moves where it's great for, you know, certain situations. Like right there, see how I got out of the way? But it definitely requires a little bit of practice. I feel like this is like the perfect medium in the middle evasive move, because like it disrupts your opponent. On top of that, it gives you key back. And to those who are like not as skillful yet with other moves, like, you know, the armor boost, for example, or even the hyper movement, this is probably one of those attacks you want to go for first until you kind of get the better idea and movement down of how people play online and stuff like that. So go ahead, Trunks, do one more on me. Just kidding. I'm gonna get out of the way and I'm gonna counter. Bam, 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 bam. So yeah, angry shout, everybody. Angry shout. And the final evasive move on my list is instant rise. Why instant rise? Well, because it gets you out of harm's way. Again, what you want to consider in this game before choosing which is the right evasive move for you is figure out whether you want to go for the counter attacks like Bloody Counter or Special Beam Blast. Do you want the disruptive moves like Explosive Wave or the Angry Shout? Or do you want the moves that completely save your life like Armor Boost, Mock Dash, and Instant Rise? Now, the reason why I like Instant Rise is because it's so fast and it gets you out of a good vicinity of the area based on what attack they're doing. So if she's doing a Kamehameha, which she can't do, I'm out of the way. I'm dipping. I'm gone. If she does a Justice Combination, which is everyone's favorite attack to use, apparently, I hate that move so much. Notice how I can actually get out of the way after getting kicked once, and then I will not evade back into it. Because like I said, attacks like, you know, Bloody Counter and Special Beam Blast could like send you right back into an attack if you do it the wrong way. So you want to figure out what's right for you. Again, just get into the training mode, pick out a bunch of ultimates and see what works best for you, and then just kind of figure out what you like the most. But by the way, one last thing I want to say about Instant Rise, so you don't actually mess it up. Instant Rise goes to the top immediately by default. You don't want to be at the top of the map and then accidentally, you know, Instant Rise back into an attack. Like, that's going to be right in the path of death if they're doing an ultimate. So just keep in mind that when you're doing Instant Rise and you're at the top of the map, you want to actually hold Descend so you can go down like this. See how I did that? Or I can do up. By default, up. But again, if you're just descending and you're holding the Descend button while doing it, you actually go down. Just a heads up with that. So yeah. So anyways, that wraps up my list of the best evasive moves that I think are available in Xenoverse 2. Again, if you have any other moves that you think are better or should have been on this list, feel free to drop it down below. And don't forget to say why. Be like, oh, I use Mock Dash because it gives me a speed boost. Or use Headshot because it flicks your opponent back or whatever. Like, tell me the examples why. And to those watching this video, feel free to check out the comments as well for other possible good evasive moves. And yeah, just see what works best for you, folks. Everyone's going to have a different evasive move that they prefer. And to me right now, my favorite is Hyper Movement, which I showed off at the beginning of this video. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like down below. Any other questions, comments, feedback, drop me a comment. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Ramstyle, and I will see you guys at the top. Peace.